You know that feeling, right? You've spent weeks, maybe even months, planning the perfect luxury vacation. You've pictured it all, that incredible view, the huge suite, just the vibe you were going for. But then you get there, you open the door, and it's not quite what you paid for. It's a classic story. So, why does this keep happening? And maybe more importantly, what if I told you that's all about to change? I mean, let's be honest for a second. Why is booking a luxury hotel still such a gamble? It's a simple question, right? But it's one that drives so many of us crazy. You're spending a lot of money, you're planning this trip that's supposed to be special, and yet you're basically just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. It doesn't really make sense, does it? Well, it's because we're all just kind of lost. We're swimming in this sea of unreliable information. You've got a dozen tabs open, you're scrolling through these professionally shot photos that, let's face it, look a little too perfect. Then you're reading reviews that say completely opposite things. You're basically trying to be a detective, piecing together the truth. It's exhausting, and it's a total guessing game. So yeah, let's call it what it is, the luxury booking gamble. And this isn't some small thing, right? This is a high-stakes game. When you're booking a top-tier hotel, you're not just buying a place to sleep. You're investing in an experience, a memory. And right now, that investment feels way too risky. And really, it all boils down to these three things. You've got misleading photos that are staged to perfection, but what does the room actually look like day to day? Then there are these vague descriptions that sound amazing but tell you nothing. And the end result of all that, just this cloud of uncertainty that follows you all the way until you check in. Okay, so let's talk about the real cost of all this uncertainty, because it's not just about the money you spent, even though that's a huge part of it. It's about the emotional price you pay when you make the wrong choice. I mean, just think about it. That sinking feeling of disappointment the second you open the hotel room door. Realizing you've just wasted a ton of money on something that's fine but not what you were promised. The stress of trying to fix a ruined vacation when you're supposed to be relaxing. And let's not forget all those hours you can never get back, just searching and searching for info you can actually trust. All right, so that's the problem. But what if we could just get rid of that gamble completely? What if we could move from all this guesswork to an actual guarantee? Well, that's exactly where a company called Vikatu comes in. Their whole idea is built on this really simple but powerful shift, taking us, the travelers, from guessing to knowing. It's all about swapping out that uncertainty for total certainty. And the best part, the way they do it is so incredibly simple. It's basically a three-step process. First, you put in a smart request. You tell it exactly what you're looking for. Second, you get back these perfectly curated results that are an exact match for what you asked for. And then, and this is the real game changer, you get to see real video proof, the actual room you're going to book. So, it all kicks off with the search. But this isn't your typical search bar where you just type in Istanbul. No, you get specific. You type in what you actually want, like a suite with a full Bosphorus view, or maybe a family room with a big terrace that has a lot of privacy. The whole system is built to understand those little details that make all the difference. And the result? Instead of that wall of hundreds of options you have to scroll through forever, you get this, a super clean, curated list of rooms that are actually a perfect fit. So no more endless scrolling through hotels that are just not it. This is all about precision and, frankly, saving you a whole lot of time and headache. And here we are. This is the magic moment, the big payoff. You're not looking at some slick marketing photo that's been edited to death. No, you're watching a real, authentic video of the exact room you're thinking about booking. You see the view with your own eyes. You see the actual layout, how big the space really is. And that means when you show up, absolutely no surprises. Okay, so this sounds amazing, right? But the big question is, do people actually want this? Is there a real demand? Well, the proof, as they say, is in the pudding, or in this case, the bookings. And the numbers are, wow, pretty impressive. So get this. Before the platform was even fully automated and launched, Vico2 handled over 300,000 euros in bookings. They were doing it manually, like a personal concierge service. What does that tell you? It proves that the market isn't just interested, people are so desperate for the certainty that they're willing to pay for it right now. And out of those early bookings, they brought in more than 50,000 euros in net commissions. So not only is there demand, but the financial model actually works. Even at this super early stage, they were turning that need for certainty into cold, hard cash.
But okay, let's talk about the business side of things, because this is where it gets really interesting. Let's look at two numbers. First, LTV, or lifetime value. That's how much a customer is worth to them over time, and it's over 2,500 euros. Now compare that to CAC, the customer acquisition cost. That's what it costs to get that customer in the door, as low as 40 euros. Think about that. Spending 40 to make 2,500, that's the kind of math that builds a massive, scalable business.
So, where does Vikitu fit into this crowded travel market? Well, let's take a look. You've got the giants like Booking.com. They have a massive inventory, but zero certainty about the specific room you'll get. Then there's Airbnb. Super unique places, but we've all heard the horror stories about inconsistent quality. And even the new AI tools from Google can give you ideas, but they can't actually book anything for you, and they definitely can't show you a video. Vikitu slips right into that gap. It's the only one that does it all: discovery, booking, and that all-important verified proof.
You see, this is about more than just a cool feature. This is about building a business for the future, and that feature is built on one thing: trust.
So you might be thinking, okay, but what stops a giant company from just copying this? And that's a fair question. It really comes down to three things. First, there's something they call the transparency paradox. Think about it. The big guys rely on those perfect glossy photos. If they started showing real, unedited videos of every room, it would probably hurt their sales, not help them. Second, Vikitu has figured out the logistics, how to actually go out, film, and tag all these rooms at scale. That's a huge operational headache that big tech companies just aren't built to solve. And finally, they're building this massive database of unique, on-the-ground information for every single room, stuff like the actual view, the noise level, things you just can't find anywhere else online. The founder really sums it all up when he says, "We are building the future of travel booking with confidence." And that's exactly what this is. By finally replacing the gamble with a guarantee, they're not just building another booking site. They're trying to kickstart a whole revolution based on certainty. So I guess the question for all of us is, are we ready to finally stop guessing and start